Recently on social media, you might have seen this handsome guy getting arrested for killing a CEO of United Healthcare Company, and girls are literally down bad for him. Who is he? And more importantly, why did he unalive the CEO? And despite this, why are people supporting him? Let's answer all these questions. His name is Luigi Nicolas Mangione. He was born in 1998. He was originally from a wealthy family and graduated from University of Pennsylvania, where he got his bachelor's and master's degree in science engineering. Then he started working at TrueCar as a data engineer, but he left his job in February 2023 and then went on to spend his time reading, doing yoga, and traveling. He has traveled to many Asian countries like Japan, Thailand, etc., and spent some of his time in Miami. But for this whole time, he did not contact anyone from his family, friends, or relatives. His mother and his friends were worried about him because they had not heard anything from him for months. Fast forward to November 18, 2024, his mother Kathleen filed a missing person report in San Francisco because she thought he was still working there. Anyways, the police got to work and started interviewing his friends and family, and one of his friends mentioned that he had undergone a back surgery that had completely changed him physically and mentally, and that he was microdosing mushrooms which had affected him mentally. So now here comes the plot. And before I tell you the exciting part, please make sure to subscribe and like this video. Anyways, since Luigi was a child, he has been experiencing back problems, but it increased significantly in 2022. So he wanted to try surfing to stay physically fit, which led him to Miami. But in 2023, when he was in Miami and surfing, he got an injury which further increased his back pain. Due to this, he was in bed for weeks, and in July 2023, he had to go through spinal fusion surgery to address his condition. According to doctors, he had spondylolisthesis, which can cause severe pain. Now, as he was already missing, his mother was worried and she kept calling the San Francisco Police Department. But there was no new phone number or new address, so it looks like Luigi had disappeared intentionally. Now this is where this story takes a serious turn. In the early morning of December 4, 2024, United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson left his luxury hotel in Midtown Manhattan and was walking on the street. He had recently come to New York for the company's annual investor conference scheduled to begin at 8 a.m. Just one block away, as Thompson reached the entrance of Hilton Hotel, a man wearing a mask and a black hoodie with a large backpack across the street started following him. Around 6:45 a.m., the man pointed his 3D printed gun and shot him. The bullets were engraved with the word "Deny, Defend, Depose," which was in contrast with the motto of insurance companies, "Delay, Deny, Depose." Brian was shot 3 times in the back and leg. Right in the moment, Brian Thompson collapsed on the ground and man ran away on the e-bike. 2.5 hours later, police arrived at the house of Brian Thompson to tell his wife that her husband has been killed. A national manhunt started as law enforcement released the video footage and image of assassin, all pointing towards Luigi. But he was again missing. The news soon spread like wildfire and it reached the San Francisco Police Department pretty quickly. The officer who was assigned the case of Luigi's missing report saw his photo and suddenly he said, "Oh my god, I remember this guy." And then he talked to his colleagues and supervisors and called the New York FBI agent that was handling this case. But where did Luigi really go? So right after the assassination, he traveled 300 miles from New York to Altoona, Pennsylvania. On December 9, 2024, he was eating in a local McDonald's, but unfortunately, one of the workers identified him and informed the FBI. Right then, there he was arrested. And he was found with a fake ID, a backpack containing partially 3D printed gun bullets, a spiral notebook, and a 261-word letter to the FBI. The letter read,
"To the feds, I'll keep this short because I do respect what you do for our country. To save you a lengthy investigation, I state plainly that I wasn't working with anyone. This was fairly trivial. Some elementary social engineering, basic CAD, a lot of patience. The spiral notebook, if present, has some straggling notes and to-do lists that illuminate the gist of it. My tech is pretty locked down because I work in engineering, so probably not much info there. I do apologize for any strife of traumas, but it had to be done. Frankly, these parasites simply had it coming. A reminder, the US has the #1 most expensive healthcare system in the world, yet we rank roughly number 42 in life expectancy. United is the indecipherable largest company in the US by market cap, behind only Apple, Google, Walmart. It has grown and grown, but has our life expectancy? No, the reality is, these indecipherable have simply gotten too powerful, and they continue to abuse our country for immense profit because the American public has allowed them to get away with it. Obviously, the problem is more complex, but I do not have space, and frankly, I do not pretend to be the most qualified person to lay out the full argument. But many have illuminated the corruption and greed, e.g., Rosenthal, Moore, decades ago, and the problems simply remain. It is not an issue of awareness at this point, but clearly power games at play. Evidently, I am the first to face it with such brutal honesty.
Now, why did Luigi say evidently I am the first to face it with such a brutal honesty? Because as I mentioned earlier, he had to go through spinal fusion surgery, which costed him a fortune. But due to constant denial and deception by the United Healthcare Insurance Company, he had to suffer a lot mentally and financially. So he was just pissed off at the system. He was tired of constantly calling insurance company but getting no help. He was exhausted of constantly reading insurance claim rejected. Then one day he realized that this is enough, and he took the matters into his own hand. Now, after his arrest, he became a hero for the general public who fought back against the system and took a bold step as his revenge. And he got a cult-like following, girls after him everywhere, people making edits of him and glorifying him. However, what he did was a crime, and he is currently on trial since his arrest. He was previously charged with federal first-degree murder in connection with terrorism, the killing of Brian Thompson, and federal gun possession. In September 2025, state terrorism and 2 federal terrorism counts were dismissed. He now faces a second-degree murder charge in state court and other federal charges including gun possession. Now, because the government responded immediately by announcing that they wanted death penalty, and they turned his arrest into a political parade, which his defense team immediately called illegal, and that it took away his right to a fair trial. The whole world is now split into two. One group relating to his pain, who also felt abused by the medical bills and the scam of insurance companies, and Luigi looks like a messiah for them, as they stand on the road wearing t-shirts and holding boards saying "Free Luigi." But there's also a group who says this is not correct. He should not have killed anyone. What do you think? Should the justice system make an exception for him or treat him like any other criminal? Tell us what you think in the comment section below. If you like our documentary, please subscribe and like this video. We will see you in the next episode of Undressing Crime.